Joshua White, violation of community control, violation, test positive for cocaine, June 10th. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Novotny?
Your Honor, we'd like to waive the final hearing at this time and admit to the violation.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
What's your plea to that allegation?
Guilty.
Accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. Ms. Novotny?
Your Honor, we would like the court to consider continuing Mr. White on probation.
Why?
Ultimately, he would like the court to consider Lake Geauga as an option for him.
Why?
To help with his sobriety, Your Honor.
Well, he won't help himself. I can't help him. August 20th, put him on probation. At that point, he'd been in jail 120 days. I gave him 40 more in jail treatment program. Regular meetings, decision points. January 12th, 5 months later, 4.5 months later, he was arrested with positive test. January 15th, sent him to Lake Geauga. A month and a half later, he's arrested in probation, test positive. April 22, exactly 3 months ago, sent him to an IOP at Lake Geauga. Less than 2 months later, he's tested positive again. So for what? To do what? He won't take advantage of what I've laid out for him to stop using cocaine. So why would I send him back a third time to the same place and a fourth time for treatment? He won't help himself. How can I? You can't help him. Kim can't help him. Nobody can help him because he just likes to use cocaine. Go ahead.
Your Honor, we'd just like to consider that. Ultimately, with Lake Geauga, he informed me he is cooking with Hell Wriggles. He's been there since September 2025. He informs me he is one of the 2 full-time cooks there.
Well, that has exactly zero impact on me. It has a lot of impact on the owner of Hell Regals, but how can Hell Regals continue to employ this guy who keeps getting arrested and spending time in jail? But so the fact that there's only 2 full-time cooks has no impact on this case.
No, Your Honor.
Because full-time employment, theoretically, occupies people's time so that they're not out running around using drugs. It doesn't work for him. So that tool, if you want to call it a tool, doesn't work either. So treatment doesn't work, working doesn't work. The only thing that he likes to do is do cocaine. So go ahead.
With that, Your Honor, he does have 253 days of credit.
What do you want to tell me? Why do you keep using cocaine?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. Why don't you figure it out? Wasn't the point of this stuff to figure out why you're doing what you're doing, so you stop doing it, so you stop ending up sitting here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why don't you figure it out?
I will.
Huh?
I will.
No, you what? You will?
Yes, sir.
You won't, because you don't want to.
I want to.
No, you don't. If you wanted to, then you would take advantage of this stuff. Okay, how many meetings did you go to the week before you got arrested?
I was doing 3.
Okay, who's your sponsor?
I have, his name's Danny.
Who?
Danny.
Danny. When's the last time you talked to Danny before you got arrested?
Probably 2 weeks before I got arrested.
Where did you get the cocaine?
I went to a strip club for my birthday.
Why did you go, what strip club?
The Executive's Den?
That garbage can right off the shoreway?
Yes.
Yeah. Why did you go there?
For my birthday.
Okay. And so where'd you get the cocaine?
From one of the strippers there.
From one of the strippers. Now, what exactly made you think that was a good idea?
It wasn't a good idea.
Then why did you do it?
I was drinking and
Why were you drinking? Wasn't part of your terms no drugs, no alcohol?
yes, Your Honor.
So why were you drinking?
They got me drinks for my birthday.
Who?
The strippers did. So I drank a few drinks and then, you know, the one line and yeah, I knew I shouldn't have. And,
How much did you have to give them to get the drinks and the cocaine?
I don't even know.
You don't even know.
No.
You weren't keeping track of your money?
No, I only went with like a couple $100. So.
And so you spent a couple $100 at the executive den?
Yeah.
That seems like a good use of your hard-earned money.
No, it's not.
And didn't you do the decision points program?
Yes. It was bad decisions just
Right.
on my head.
Well, so what day did you go to the executives den?
The 8th, I think. Or no, not the 8th. The 6th, I think.
The 6th. The 6th of June. Was that your birthday?
No, my birthday is the 12th.
So why did you go on
that
June
Friday.
6th?
Huh?
Why did you go on June 6th if your birthday was June 12th?
Because I had to work on my birthday.
Who did you go with?
I took myself. I took an Uber out there.
Now, when did you decide that you were going to go there?
It was like a last-minute decision.
Okay. Why didn't you call your sponsor, Danny, and say, Danny, I think I'm making a bad decision here. What do you think?
I thought it was too late to call him. It was like 12 o'clock at night.
Last time you tested positive in March, where'd you get that cocaine from?
I got that from the same guy I got it from the first time, Jeff.
Jeff who?
Right.
Well, when were you scheduled to go to probation after June 6th?
I go on Wednesday, so I don't remember the date.
Okay. So didn't it dawn on you were going to test positive for cocaine when you went to probation?
No,
No, it didn't?
no.
Why not?
I didn't think one line was going to be that last in my system that long, but I was wrong, obviously. So
Obviously. You keep being wrong because since I sentenced you, this is the third time you've been here for the same exact thing. So why would sending you to Lake Geauga make any difference? Why sending you there for the third time would that make any difference in what you do?
I had to wait to get back in there this last time because I didn't have insurance. So I had to wait to see if I could get insurance or if I had to pay for insurance. I just got insurance, and I was going to call them the day I got arrested at probation.
You were going to
start
call
back
who?
up.
You were going to call who?
Lake Geauga to start back IOP again. Because I had to wait for insurance because they wouldn't take me without insurance.
Where'd you get your insurance?
Well, I called JFS. I didn't know if I was making too much or not, so, but they sent it to me, so.
What? Maybe you're working full-time at Hell Regals, right?
Yes,
And what are they paying you over there?
16.
So why didn't you buy some insurance?
Yeah, I was getting it, and I paid child support, so I paid a lot of money in child support.
All right.
And not working, getting 40 hours minus taxes and child support every 2 weeks, my paychecks really ain't that much.
Okay, so why are you spending a couple $100 at executives then? If you
I
don't
had
have
some
any money?
overtime for that last paycheck that I got, so I
Okay.
wanted to go out for my birthday. I should have just went to the casino.
Well, you should have just stayed home.
Oh, they had that too.
I mean, unless you got a lot of money to piss away, I wouldn't go to a casino, but
Well, no,
that's me.
I would have took like $20 to the casino.
Anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
Okay, I've gone back and looked at the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. Listen to what you have said, what Ms. Novotny has said. I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. I'm going to find you're no longer amenable to community control. I'm going to terminate your community control. I'll sentence you to 11 months in prison with credit for 253 days, and the costs are assessed. So you've accumulated almost 8.5 months of time on this case. So that means you're going to do another 2.5 months, and you'll be out. And then you can either get help or you can not get help. It's completely up to you. If you don't, then you'll be back again for cocaine. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Alrighty, friends, since my mic was apparently not working when we started this show, good morning, happy Thursday, welcome to TCF Live. My name is Dan Soul, and I am currently in the middle of guiding you on this 3-hour journey through Courtlandia. It is good to have you all here. Quick programming note, tonight, Sidebar is our 1-year anniversary episode for that show. Please do join us. Barbara just put a link in the chat, so thank you for that, Barbara. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel. Let's go to Michigan. Judge McNally.
Operating while impaired, high BAC, and she had a single car accident. She was referred for screening and assessment. Have you had a chance to review that report with her? And are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions? And I stand corrected, it was not a guilty plea. It was a no contest plea.
And it was to impaired the original charge was IBAC. There are no corrections, the only deletions. I reviewed the pre-sentence report along with my client, and she's prepared to be given a sentence today. I do have some brief allocution on that from my client.
Glad to listen.
Judge, my client is 34 years old. She's married. She has 4 children, ages 17, 16, 2, and 1. She's a nurse. She got her associate's degree in nursing from Monroe Community College. She has no prior criminal history, no prior criminal contact with the judicial system. I truly believe what happened on that day was a aberration of her normal character. She has taken responsibility. She's remorseful. She's thankful that nobody was injured. She already started AA meetings.
Has she shown you proof of that?
She does have the papers.
Has she
I
shown you
have
that?
not seen the.
Show that to your lawyer. Show it to your lawyer. Oh, right now?
I don't have it on me.
Why not?
It's at home.
Remember I told you every time you come to court, you have to bring that with you? You have to bring that with you. You've been going?
Yes.
Where you been going?
Battling Brook
How many times have you gone?
3 times.
Okay, now I told you once a week, right?
Yeah.
I ordered that June 25th, right?
Yes.
So you're really on the fourth time. You should have been going four times by now.
This Friday.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, counsel.
Judge, I do believe that the recommendation is fair, and I ask you to adopt the recommendation, Judge. I am asking for either testing or outpatient treatment. She is a mom. She has 2 kids at home. It's very difficult. She's moving out of a trailer because of homework. That would be difficult, but obviously, we'll do it as a court.
Sorry, say that again?
I'm asking for either testing or outpatient and not both. Just
I gotta
because-
do that. She scored in category 4, but okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying that she's living out of a trailer because her home burned down and she has a 1 and 2 year old daughter, 1 and 2 year old kid, so that would be a little difficult, but obviously we will apply the call for her.
Ma'am, anything you would like to say?
I'm just thankful everyone was, no one was hurt and you will not see me again.
So you had a .19, right? That's almost 3 times the legal limit, right? I mean, it's 2.5 times, I should say, but single car accident. Not good. You had more than 5 beers too. So just so we know that, I know that that's not truthful, okay? That's what you reported in the screening, as an assessment. 12 months probation, you cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, you place employment or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume any one of those. You're to submit to, and by the way, you're to submit to chemical testing, PBTs and ETGs. Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. I'm going to order that you continue attending NA in person 1 time per week. Every time you go, you have to have the form signed. Every time you come to court or meet with probation, you have to bring that form with you. You attend NA once a week until you're an outpatient. Once you get in outpatient, you no longer have to attend NA. So outpatient treatment, victims impact handling, 4 days jail credit 1. I'll let you serve those as follows. Give me credit for 1. 2 days of community service, which you have to complete by August the 31. That's 16 hours at any nonprofit organization. 1 day on the court work program. There's a $35 a day charge for that. So your court work program fees are $35. 300 fines, $250 costs, 75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So your fines and costs here amount to $675, screening fees $60 for $735, probation fees are $240, so your total's $975 plus your cost of recovery of $225, and your court work program fees, everything included, is $1,235. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 93 days. You have 21 days to appeal. You have 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. Do you understand that? You also may be eligible for early discharge. You get everything done, no violations within the preceding 90 days, and after 6 months, you'll be entitled to early discharge by statute. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, any questions or anything?
No, Your Honor, you've been very quick.
Does she have all this to pay? You do? Okay, so you pay this now, you'll meet with probation. Again, testing bi-weekly. Chemical tests, PBTs and ETGs, bi-weekly for 4 months. If you're clean, I'll make it monthly. Okay? So make sure you're clean every time, all right? No more use. We understand. You're lucky you didn't hurt yourself or somebody else. I wish you well. You'll meet with probation. You go down the hall, pay your fines. My court officer will bring the file over, and they will instruct you. Anything else?
Thank you.
Good to have you here, counsel.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Lieutenant, can you come here, please? You have to turn my video on. Good morning. How are you? Let me just take a quick look.
This was a different number. That's the same. They seen, yeah, they used to program. I'm still trying to get subscribers to the station. People. That's our assumption.
So she gave 8 to him. Other number was 9, 8, that's right. That's okay. That's what I'm sorry. We're still in somebody's where what can we encourage you that the testimony will get these proceedings of the poultry, so I hope you got.
Yes, I do.
So I can sign it. I'm also going to do the same. Yes, man. You got a pen?
Yes, I do. But that one was like, yeah, oh, that's all. That's nothing. I just tried that one. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
This is a different fix.
So, can't complain.
Pretty sure somebody's working. Extremely
Yes, I think. Yes.
All right, I keep waiting for him to do something significant, and it does not happen. So while we're waiting for him to do something significant, let's go to Alaska. Let's say good morning to our bear friends. Alrighty, easy breakfast for them this morning. The fish are really running, so we'll check back in perhaps later. McNally's finally got a real contestant in front of him. Let's go back.
Yes, have a seat at this table right here, my right, your left. Mr. Turner, your name?
Turner.
You're charged with driving on a suspended. By law, you have the right to an attorney. Would you like an attorney?
Oh, sorry.
I'll go ahead and arraign you, and I'll send you to the prosecutor to discuss this. Fair enough?
Sir.
On June 27 and 26, the police think you were operating a motor vehicle on Huron River Drive near Burton and Rockwood with a suspended license that is a misdemeanor punishable by up to $500 in fines, 93 days jail, costs of all those and points. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you will be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You still wish to waive your right to a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm entering a not guilty plea, $500 personal bond. You don't have to post any money. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You can go right outside there next to the prosecutor's room. That will be conference room number 2, and we'll take this over to the Rockwood prosecutor, okay?
You said I can't leave the state?
Right now, correct. If we don't resolve it today and you need to leave the state for employment or otherwise, when you come back in, you tell me and we'll go through it, okay?
Thank you.
Have a good day. We'll see you back here. Shane Michael White, 26R 514-802. Your name, sir?
Shane White?
You're charged with super drunk violation, high BAC. You have the right to an attorney. Would you like one?
I was gonna look at hiring one.
Well, I can go ahead and arraign you if you want, and you can hire your own lawyer. I can give you an adjournment of the pretrial, and then you can go hire a lawyer. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
On June 26 of 26, it is alleged that you did at 31500 Olmsted in Rockwood commit the offense of high BAC, that you were operating a motor vehicle and you had an excess of 0.17 or higher on the breathalyzer or blood draw. That is a misdemeanor. It is punishable by minimum fine of 200 up to 700, 6 months, 6 months jail. Up to 6 months in jail, 6 points, license suspension, revocation in accordance with your record, and your vehicle could be or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes, I did.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and we're not going to have a hearing or a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes, I did.
All right, so I'll enter a not guilty plea. You wish to go out and hire your own lawyer, and you can afford one, correct?
I'm attempting, yes.
Where do you work at?
Key construction in the airborne.
How much do you make there?
Roughly 1,000 a week.
All right, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. I'm going to give you a $1,500 bond, personal bond. You don't have to post any money. Have you ever had any other drunk drivings?
I have not.
You got other criminal convictions, though, I see. So I'm going to order that you attend AANA twice a week, that you not purchase, possess, or consume alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs, that you not leave the state without the consent of the court, that you not violate a law, and that you must appear in court as directed. Do you understand all of that?
I understand.
So you don't have to post any money, but you'll owe $1,500 if you violate any of those terms and conditions. Also, except through your lawyer, no contact with prosecution witnesses. I'll give you a court date. You can go hire your own lawyer, and we'll see you back here. What do you have for me, Heather?
That will be August 6th at 8:30.
August the 6th at 8:30, okay? So you go down the hall, we'll give you a copy of the bond sheet. He's handed you an AA verification form. You do have to go in person, though, okay? And then we'll see you back here on August the 6th, okay? Good luck. Madison Renee Guess, 26F246621. Name your name. You're charged with retail fraud. You have the right to a lawyer. Would you like a lawyer? I'll give you a lawyer. You can go out in the hallway. We will set you up, and you're going to deal with this gentleman through your lawyer. Okay, so go right out in the hallway. People against Jesse Dean Gannon Jr. This is 26B150416.
Yes.
I'm sorry, James D. Gannon. My apologies, Junior. James Dean Gannon Jr., 26B150416. B and C. Michael Baxter seated up at the table. Your name, sir?
James Dean Jr.
You were on probation. I took it under 7411 on June the 17th of 26. That's when I sentenced you. And I have a violation of probation that alleges you failed to submit the on-demand testing as ordered on July the 7th. That is count 1. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Count 2, for which you're on probation, also, the same thing. Failed to submit the on-demand testing as ordered on July the 7th, 26. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty, these are first offense, at least they're both first technical violations, so you could receive 5 days in jail pursuant to law if you plead guilty or are found guilty of either one of these. Do you understand me? And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and we're not gonna have a hearing of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a lawyer. I'll be happy to give you a public expense if you would like one. Would you like one?
Yes, if I may say something real quick.
You should
just
talk-
make su-
You should talk to your lawyer before you, say anything. If you have a question,
Oh, yes, sir. It just, it says that I didn't show up here on the 30th, for my first initial probation hearing.
hang on a second. There's no such,
Oh,
there's no such allegation here. It's failure to submit the on-demand testing as ordered on July the 7th.
okay.
Why do you want- Why do you want, what's that?
Okay, that, I'm sure. Yes, sir. I'm a lawyer.
Okay, so I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. We're gonna give you a lawyer. You'll go speak with the lawyer, and I will, take care of this for you, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Do you have any questions for me at all? Questions,
No,
not
sir.
responses that are gonna incriminate you. None?
No, sir.
Okay, you're all set. We'll send it up. You'll meet with the lawyer.
Yeah, which room is that?
Just have a seat in the hallway.
26. 23. All right. Papers. Yeah, Mr. Coleman, this is fired. What do you have? People against Michael Xavier Baxter, 25M77011A. Your name?
Sorry, Mike Baxter.
Where you been?
In and out of, Bebbington, inpatient for the last 6 months at an IOP. I was on, disability pay for,
How much money do you have today? And
I just paid $262 for the insurance ticket, and we reset the payment plan for the other tickets. I've been in disability.
all right, just slow down a second. Just slow down. Heather, I have a limited access feed in front of me. He
That's
owes,
correct.
and does that what he owes 362 on?
He owes 308 on this one.
Okay. Somebody wrote balance 362.
I just paid that
No,
one.
that,
Not disputing. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Just let me ask her a question. Do you, is that, this, somebody wrote down balance 362 on a sticky note. Is that what he owes or does he owe?
no,
only
it looks
308?
like he paid his B ticket today, which was 362, and on this limited access, he owes 308.
How much do you have today?
I have to set up a payment plan for that. I just paid $262,
That's
which
fine.
I'm just gonna drive down.
That's fine. Tell me how much you can afford to pay and when.
I paid the $50 a month, so August 1st, I can pay $50.
Are you on social security disability?
I was on disability from August 1st to, August 27th to May 1st. I was on scheduled disability, I was 4 days stamping, so I was getting 60% of my wages. Now, when I went back to work,
You just pay August 7th.
they put me
beginning.
on temporary layoff.
It's all right, relax. I'll let you do that, okay? You pay 50 per month beginning August 7th. Can you do that?
Yes.
If you don't have the money at any time, you call the clerk, we'll go on Zoom, I'll give you an extension, okay?
Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Do you have OLEP, Mr. Clovis? You do. Andrew Douglas OLEP, 2.
Barbara, thank you for the $5. Happy birthday sidebar, she says, and set your notification now. That's very good advice. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it.
You're the.
Look at, lucky you.
BP 434 on behalf of the defendant. Sir, would you please identify yourself for the record?
Andrew Douglas, hello.
Okay, so you met with the prosecutor, you got it reduced to impaired, and he is going to plead to that with the OWI to be dismissed, and correct me, this is a first offense, although he's just turned 23 the other day, right?
That's correct, and he's got his AH slip that
Okay.
twice a week,
Okay,
and also went and had independent testing. He's doing fantastic, and what's nice, and I guess I will bring it up at sentencing, is that and you've been in private practice and on the bench, somebody's more credible and serious about stopping drinking Because when I talked with him today, the first words out of his mouth was, I'm 140 days old.
Good. That's
And-
great.
And that just gave it the credibility that he truly is.
Listen, I got some concerns we're gonna talk about even before sentencing with you, Mr. Olet. You understand that?
Yes,
If you plead guilty to operating while impaired, the possible penalties are up to 300 fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service, court costs, or all those. 4 points would be added to your traffic record. Your license would be suspended or revoked in accordance with the vehicle could be, or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and we're not going to have a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, to the charge, operating while visibly impaired, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Were you operating a motor vehicle in the city of Flat Rock, county of Wayne on April the 3 of 26 at 7:46 in the morning on East Garden Boulevard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prior to that, did you drink alcohol and what did you drink? If you did drink, and how much?
Yes, Your Honor. I was drinking vodka the night before.
When did you stop drinking?
From what I was told and from what I remember, it was 11 p.m.
So this was 8 hours later, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was at 7:30 in the morning. So listen, why were you pulled over by the police?
Speeding, Your Honor.
You think you were speeding at least in part because of your alcohol consumption.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, your lawyer will tell you that if you stopped drinking at 11 o'clock, that you somehow, some way had roughly up to a 3.7. Okay?
Yes.
You stipulate to the accuracy of the blood result or breath result of 0.248, Mr. Clovis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right now, are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'm gonna accept your plea to impaired driving. I'm going to dismiss the OWI. I want you to listen to me a second, son. When you're doing this at the time, which was April the 3rd, and you're only 22 years old and you got a 3.536, I'm glad that you're staying sober. But that's really indicative of a problem. Okay, no matter how you cut. I need him on a sober link, Mr. Clovis. First,
If I may, Your Honor, he goes to AA. He takes it very serious. In fact, he knows the first 6 steps already.
good.
And I understand a sober link.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue the $500 personal bond.
Thank you.
You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs, no contact with prosecution witnesses except through your lawyer. AANA 3 times a week. You have to go in person. We're gonna hand you a form. Every time you go, you have to have the form signed. Every time you come to court, you have to bring the form with you. You do have to be on a sober link device by the end of the day. This is more precautionary. I'll believe your lawyer if that's what you're doing. I think it's fantastic. I'm ordering a screening and assessment as I must by law. You're gonna fill out a questionnaire and be interviewed. That's a lot though. Where does he work at?
I work at Tire Max out in Livonia. I drive a boom truck for them to do heavy equipment.
In Your Honor, I mean, he seriously goes to AA right now twice a week.
That's great. That is great.
You want it 3 times or can he keep?
Nah, I need him 3 times. I'm sorry. This is a 3.536. That's what alarmed me when I saw it was 7:40 in the morning. That's even worse. Give me a sentence date, Lisa or Heather, we can make sure Mr. Clovis is available.
Thank you.
August 6th at 8:30.
Is that good with you?
Well, you know,
No problem. So you're taking this seriously though, right? Yes?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
never been in trouble before? I mean, you had 2 speeding tickets. Other than that, have you ever been in trouble before?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you look shell-shocked here.
he's very, very nervous, Judge, when I talk to him.
I'm nervous too.
Oh, well,
You're
that's
nervous.
why I informed the court so much about having, that he knew the number of days without me even talking, and, you know, he just sat down with me and said, I'm 140 days sober. And you know what, those are people that, at least in my, past
No, I don't disagree with
That's
you.
that's pretty good, credibility wise.
I don't disagree.
It's better than the people that say, I don't have a problem and it's a victim's circumstances.
Right. Are you good August the 6th?
Yes, Your Honor.
At 8:30? Okay. All right, so sir, you're gonna go down the hall, you're gonna get your paper notice, and then you're going to go over to probation, fill out a question, be interviewed. Have a good day. Good luck. Thanks, Mr. Pelosi. Thank you.
Alrighty, friends, good morning once again. It is TCF Live on a Thursday. Reminder again, join us for Sidebar tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is our 1-year anniversary show. Can't believe we've been doing that show for a year already, but we have. And love to see you there tonight. I want to go back to Judge O'Donnell in Lake County. He's got a hearing that started some time ago, and I'll pick it up from the beginning. And it looks like it's a little bit of a longer one, but it's a sentencing. It sounds like there's some victim impact going on. I'm not quite sure what the subject matter is, but let's go check it out.
Tuttle?
Thank you, Your Honor. We are present this morning in the case of the State of Ohio versus Jonathan Williams, case 26-CR-782. The defendant is present, represented by counsel, attorney Dan Williams. We're here today for the purposes of a sentencing hearing. On June 16th, the defendant pled guilty to a 1-count information, that being theft, a felony of the 4th degree. A pre-sentence report and victim impact statement have been completed. The parties have had the opportunity to view that pre-sentence report and are prepared to proceed with sentencing today. There is a joint recommendation for community control sanctions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. As was indicated at the time of this plea, a joint recommendation of community control was made to the court so long as Mr. Williams continued to abide by the terms and conditions of his bond. To date, he has done just that. A number of documents have been submitted to the court in advance of the sentencing hearing, including the sentencing memorandum of the defendant, a number of letters of support on behalf of Mr. Williams, as well as the pre-sentence report and investigation. We'd ask that those be incorporated into the record at this time, Your Honor. Your Honor, when viewing the principles and purposes of felony sentencing, it is our position that a non-residential community control sanction would be sufficient in this instance to both punish Mr. Williams without imposing any unnecessary burden on any state or local resources. As the court is aware, Mr. Williams has no prior criminal history of any kind. This was quite frankly a crime of opportunity that was brought about by mounting debt that Mr. Williams felt he could no longer manage, and we feel this occurred in certain circumstances that are unlikely to happen again. I don't think there's any question that he's genuinely remorseful for his conduct, as evidenced by his admission to his employer and also to the police. He understands completely that he violated the position of trust that he was put in, and the detriment that this has caused Mr. Gidley's business. He's asking the court not to view him or his character in the narrow lens of this particular conduct, but to reflect on a lifetime of good deeds and service to others. Mr. Williams is a well-regarded member of both his community and the church. I think the letters of support that you've received reflect a man who has lived the vast majority of his life in service to other people. Understandably, it's hard to reconcile the person that's been described in those letters with the person who committed the conduct that occurred here, but that is what we're asking the court to do. Those that trust and know Mr. Williams best believe he's fully capable of redemption, and that's what we are asking this court today, is to put him in the best position, put him on the best path forward to achieve that redemption, which most importantly is going to include making Mr. Gidley whole again. Mr. Williams is gainfully employed. He's always maintained steady employment throughout his life. The only position he's going to be in order to make restitution in this case is if he continued to work. We feel that a non-residential community control sanction, which would include an extensive period of house arrest or other non-residential sanctions, would put him in the best position in order to make the victim whole in this case, Your Honor. So we'd ask to take all these things into consideration. Mr. Williams would like to address the court, and we have two others that are here with him today, his wife Kylie Williams and Pastor Ken Wright, who would also like to address the court.
Well, what order do you want to go in?
We'll have Mr. Williams proceed first.
Mr. Williams, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
Thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me to speak. First, I want to say to Brian and the entire LBL family that I'm truly sorry for my poor choices and everything that that you've had to go through over the last few years due to my selfishness. I humbly and genuinely ask you for your forgiveness. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Your Honor, with a contrite heart, I am deeply sorry for my actions. I know that what I've done is wrong and unacceptable. There's no excuse for my actions, but I know the question remains, why did I do it? There are a few reasons I did what I did. I had accumulated debt throughout the years, and we were trying to purchase our first home. We weren't able to get a loan without first improving my credit score and paying down some of the debt. With all of the other bills still going on and my kids growing up and needing things for school and sports, I felt helpless. So I started depositing cash from my job into my personal account to stay on top of bills and to pay down debt in order to get approved for a home for my family, believing that I would pay it back. This is an insane way of thinking, and I'm embarrassed to even say it out loud. From the time I was a very young child, I've worked very hard to provide for my family. My first job was when I was 10 years old, where I would give money to my mother to help buy groceries for my sister and me. I've worked and served every community I've been a part of since. It's hard to believe that just a few years ago I was walking the hallways of the West Wing in the White House working in the Trump administration, and now I'm standing before you today asking for mercy to be extended for the wrong I have done. Living under the weight of my choices the last 2 years have been very eye-opening and yet very challenging. I've realized that I can't always do things on my own. I can't just figure things out. I've learned that I need help when times get tough and not to lean on my own understanding or to take matters into my own hands. I know there are consequences for my actions. I try to teach my kids this every day. Every day that I get to either drop them off at school or text them, I tell them 4 things. 1, I love them. 2, be a good leader, make good choices, and treat people the way you want to be treated. I failed at my advice to my children, but I pray that they will learn from my mistakes. Today, as I stand before you, I know the possibilities of my sentence, but I'm asking you to show me mercy. I'm asking that you give me a second chance at life and that I won't be separated from my kids and family. I now have multiple jobs that I'm working, and including bus driving, providing tech support online for ministry in Arizona, freelance photography, music director at my church, driving for Amazon, and picking up extra shifts. I need to work to provide for my family and also to offer restitution to those I've hurt. My goal in life is always to give more than I receive. Thank you for considering my request and hearing my heart.
Good morning, Your Honor. First off, I too would like to say how sorry I am to you, Brian, and to your family and to the company for how our family has hurt you. And I also ask your forgiveness. Your Honor, I would like to tell you a bit about my husband. We've been happily married for 22 years in September. We have 4 beautiful children together who we left at home to protect their emotions. Jonathan didn't have a dad growing up. But he did have a grandfather who imparted a good amount to him, but for the most part, he didn't have an example of how to be a dad. But that didn't stop him from becoming the most amazing dad to our children. He literally would lay his life down and does anything he can to give them the life and upbringing that he did not have. Jonathan is an extremely hard worker. He is continually working hard to provide for his family, not only for our needs, but for our wants. What Jonathan did, taking money here and there, was only in the thought of his family. While it is definitely not an excuse, it was his motivation, and yet it was still wrong. Your Honor, the last couple of years I have watched Jonathan dread this day and psychologically has been in bondage ever since. I have watched him become depressed, his body tense with stress, crippled in fear and dread. This is not how Jonathan usually is. He's the life of the party, smiling, being silly, and then the last couple of years, those traits have been few and far between. I still remember very clearly the day he told me what he had done. He started off with, I have to tell you something really serious, and if you want to leave our marriage, I will understand. Of course, I have stood by him together, and we have journeyed this struggle of what's to come. We have chosen each other through sickness and in health. Even though all of this, I am still honored to be married to Jonathan because the situation isn't who he is. He's a godly man, a faithful husband, and a wonderful father and friend to so many. He leads our church in worship every week and is dearly loved by our church. Many of the members of our family and our church have been supportive in praying for Jonathan as he navigates today. Your Honor, thank you for hearing me.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for the opportunity this morning. Past 5 years, I've had the privilege of pastoring Jonathan and his family. And during that time, I have found that Jonathan has consistently volunteered his time, his talents, serving in a variety of capacities within our church. He's always been willing to help wherever there was a need, often without being asked. His wife and children are also active volunteers and members of our church. They serve in various ministries and positions. When Jonathan shared with me what had taken place, he did not attempt to excuse nor justify his actions. He admitted his wrongdoing, expressed genuine remorse, and even offered to step away from serving in the church if that was necessary. He understood that his actions had consequences, and he was willing to accept the responsibility for them. I was genuinely shocked to learn of this offense because it stands in stark contrast to the man I've come to know over these past 5 years. While I do not condone or minimize what Jonathan has done, I can honestly say that this is not the character he has consistently demonstrated in our church community. In my experience, he has been generous with his time, dependable, and committed to serving others. Life is often marked by chapters. Sadly, this chapter of Jonathan's life includes a painful failure and a decision that has serious consequences. But I do not believe that this chapter defines the entirety of his life, nor his future. I believe he is sincerely repentant and desires to rebuild his life, restore trust, and move forward as a better husband, father, and member of our community. I respectfully ask that as you determine an appropriate sentence, that you would consider extended mercy where possible, particularly in the light of Jonathan's family and his ability to continue to earn a living while making restitution and rebuilding his life. Whatever the outcome, I know Jonathan is prepared to accept responsibility for his actions and begin the difficult work of moving forward with integrity. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. When did you start taking this money?
I don't remember the exact date. It was probably in August or September 23.
How long had you been working there by that point in time?
So I'd been working for the company, I think, for over a year in various capacities. I started as a cashier, retail cashier in the Chardon location, and moved to the Middlefield location and kind of worked my way up as a manager. And then when the person that was in my position before had resigned, Brian had asked me to take over that since I had a little bit of experience with QuickBooks. But it was just, I got that position because I worked hard and I was committed to helping the company. And so I think I was there for a little over a year before I went to this position.
And how long were you in the position before you started to steal?
I don't know the exact, but it was probably three or 4 months.
And What prompted you to make that decision?
I don't know, Your Honor. It was trying to buy a house and not having the resources, and that's really the only thing that we've wanted to do is purchase a home, and having that there with no oversight. I don't know why I thought that I could take it and then put it back, but that was my thinking.
Okay, so take me through the mechanics of how you manipulated the records such that it went undetected for a substantial period of time.
So the way that the system works is when there's a sale on the store end, the way that it got set up was there was a middle software, you know how to explain, software that connects the two together, and you decide what transactions come through to the QuickBooks. And so when I had started to take that money, I knew that if I didn't select certain transactions, then they wouldn't come through to the QuickBooks side of it.
So was that always cash?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was the rough percentage between cash and non-cash that came in?
I don't know that number. There was way more checks and credit cards daily than we had cash.
Okay. So how often were you taking the cash?
I'm not sure. It was just whenever I got really low on our personal. So if I were to give an amount, maybe once or twice a month.
And over what period of time once this started?
Maybe 8 months, 6 months, 6, 8 months.
Okay. How much did you take?
So the report says 53,000. Was it 53? 50, the report says $58,000.
$257.21.
Yes, sir. I can't argue with that number because we didn't do our own audit, but it seems like a lot, especially with our lifestyle of living. But I'm not going to argue that number.
Well, I'm not asking you to argue. I'm asking you. You're the one that was there.
Yes, sir.
You're the one that knows what you took, when you took it, how much you took, how often you took.
Yes, sir.
So you tell me what you think the accurate amount is that you took.
When I originally confessed it to Brian, I did not think that it was more than $10,000 to $12,000 because of that time frame and what we used in our personal. So that's what I originally thought, and then when that number came back, I was just floored that it was that amount of money in that amount of time.
And what was your plan to pay it back? You said that you took it with the intent of paying it back. How were you going to do? How were you going to manipulate QuickBooks? What was your plan to manipulate QuickBooks to put that money back?
I don't think I had a plan.
Why not?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Was there a time when you were not paying sales tax or other taxes to the state of Ohio that were supposed to be forwarded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did that start? Around the same time frame?
I don't remember. I know that I had an issue with it before all of this started, because of my lack of understanding of how to do the work. And so it was an ongoing thing with the sales tax.
What notification did you get from the Department of Taxation that the business was delinquent in their tax return?
I received a letter.
Okay. The letter came to you?
Yes, sir.
And when you got the letter, what action did you take?
I began to try to figure out again how to calculate those taxes for the company, because I'm the only one that's doing that.
All right. Did you talk to Mr. Gidley about that?
Not directly. We did have a couple conversations about taxes, but when it got delinquent, I did not talk to him about it. I tried to figure it out myself.
Okay. Why didn't you talk to him about it?
I was just afraid.
Afraid of what? Afraid of being discovered?
No, sir. I was afraid of losing my job or for not being able to do my job in that sense.
All right. Well, what communication did you then have with the Department of Taxation about these issues?
They told me I had a certain amount of time to get the money in, and so I started to work on how to get that in, and then they said that I couldn't do. Normally it's by check, I think it was, but I couldn't do a business check. I had to do a cashier's check.
Okay, and was it a installment payment or was it full payment? What was it? What did they demand?
I can't remember. I think that by a certain time, because it's been a couple years ago, by a certain time I had to have a certain amount paid to keep the sales tax, not certificate, the sales tax license active.
Okay, and what efforts did you take to make those payments to the Department of Taxation?
I started to make sure that we could have money in the bank account to do the cashier's check, and so I got a cashier's check and I mailed it to them. So that's what I did with that.
Okay, at some point it stopped, right? Those payments stopped.
Only after I was finished with the job. I don't know what happened after I finished with the job.
Okay. Because the red tag got slapped on the door, said you're closed because you don't pay your taxes. Were you gone by that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when did you leave that job?
Was it May of 24, I think?
So suffice it to say, Mr. Gidley had no knowledge of this delinquency when you left, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I don't know if it was when I left. He did mention to me that he saw the check that was sent to the tax people. So I can't remember if that was as I was leaving or afterwards.
Okay. And the consequences of that aspect of the Department of Taxation slapping that bright piece of paper on the door was devastating to that business, wasn't it?
I would assume so, sir.
Well, clearly, right? You guys are closed because you don't pay your taxes. So I guess the question is, why would a customer ever come back there again? If, first of all, the store is closed, And second of all, they're determined to be a tax scofflaw. Why would anybody come back there? So here's the thing that puzzles me from listening to you, to your wife, and to the pastor, is that you present a very you've presented a very conscious effort to say how you've spent many, many years helping others, volunteering for others, doing good in your church and in your family, and you're robbing this guy blind. How does that get squared? How does one compartmentalize their life so that they live two completely different lives? Explain that to me.
I can't, sir. Sorry. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you had a lot of time to think about this.
Yes, sir.
So you should have an explanation. I mean, there are alternate explanations. Okay? One of them could be maybe you've been conning the pastor all this time. Maybe you've been conning your church all this time. That's one reasonable explanation. But see, the problem is your request to me is to have mercy or lenience toward you for your actions, when you showed no mercy or lenience toward Mr. Gidley's company. See, taking responsibility is a nice phrase that's often used in this place. And most people really, they like to say it, and very few often mean it. Because people like to say they take responsibility when they plead guilty, and then when I sentence them, they don't like the sentence, so that tells me they're really not taking responsibility for their actions. Okay? So, do you have any any understanding on how you have wrecked a company that started from nothing 50 years ago? Do you have any, can you even grasp what you did? All in the space of a year, couple of years, whatever it was, all in the space of a year or two, it took to destroy what took 50 years to build up from nothing. Now, the effects are obvious. They should be obvious to everybody. Okay? But I've gotten a little bit more of a flavor of it with some details that I was provided through the victim impact statement. Okay? But these folks, Mr. Gidley's parents, start this thing from nothing, build it, continue to build it, turn it over to their son. Throughout that process, they employ some people, and then more people, and then more people, 3 locations, and boom, gone. And it's gone because of your selfishness. Okay? it doesn't matter, certainly doesn't matter to me, your explanation for the selfishness, because it's presented in the light of I was trying to provide for my family. We came into this job over our heads, and it just got worse. It's an explanation. It's inconsequential as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Because you have brought misery upon these folks. So I guess one of the biggest questions is how are you going to pay that back? How is that going to happen?
Yeah. So what our hope is, our plan is when I start working next week, we're going to take at least $500 from our check in a month to put that towards restitution, as well as in a few months we'll pay off one of our cars that we've had for a while, and that $500 payment will also go, instead of going to pay the car, it will go directly to pay restitution. And so we're hoping from anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month to go towards paying it back. And I'll do as much work as I can to do extra work, weddings, political events, driving for Amazon Flex, everything. I'll work hard to financially pay it. I know that I can't restore what I've broken.
Two things within the last half hour. Lead me to question whether you really take responsibility for it. First, you're talking about you know the process by which that you implemented to steal their money. You know what the process was. Apparently you were pretty good at it because it went undetected for a while. Okay. And so you know how much you took. You know the ballpark of what you took. And it wasn't 5 or 10,000. Okay. So you seem to want to minimize the depth of your attack. Am I wrong or am I right?
Sir, I don't want to minimize. I don't want to minimize it at all.
I know maybe you don't want to, but you seem to be. Consciously, subconsciously, you're talking about a couple $100 once a month or twice a month. That don't add up.
Right.
Don't add up. Not even close to adding up.
Right.
And Mr. Gidley didn't come up with $58,271.21. A forensic audit by BCI came up with that number through the books, through the objective look at the books. So you seem to want to minimize this as to the amount. So, on the one hand, as Mr. Williams, your attorney, indicated, and the pastor indicated, and your wife indicated, and you indicated, you don't want this theft to define you. right?
Yes, sir.
This isn't walking in a business on the spur of a moment and robbing a place. This is a thought out, concerted effort, as Mr. Williams indicated, a theft, an opportunity that was presented to you, that you worked for quite a period of time before it all imploded. How much of that money did you pay back?
I haven't.
Right. I mean, when you were working there, your intent was to pay it back. So in the context of when you were working there, how much did you pay back?
I don't know how much. I know that I did put cash back. I don't know the amount, and it sounds stupid. I wasn't even tracking it, so I didn't. Looking at it now, it's like, how would you know how much exactly? But I did put cash back. Inside of that, there were small times where I would use my own credit card to pay for things for the business. But
how do you reflect that in the QuickBooks entries then?
I say that again.
How would you reflect that payback in QuickBooks? Because I assume I don't know how QuickBooks works, okay, but I presume that software is to make it easier to track things, so you're not writing on ledgers all the time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, probably like they were in 1975. Okay, I presume it's easier, so there's a way to track things. So what did you do with the system to record these paybacks or credit card payments?
So as far as the cash goes, so I've got a drawer full of cash, from days or whatever, and then when I run what's called an end of day, whatever cash I'm depositing into the bank, I take those transactions in that middle software, and that adds up to what goes into QuickBooks. So nothing comes into QuickBooks unless you tell it to from the center software. So does that make sense?
No, but it doesn't matter if it makes sense, because whatever's purchased,
it doesn't automatically go.
People are paying for.
Yes, sir.
So whatever is purchased for $25, there should be a corresponding payment of $25, right?
Yes, sir.
There's an indication of what was purchased, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you throw back another $50 because you're feeling bad that day in cash, what was a corresponding purchase?
So the thing is, when someone says $25 cash at the store, it doesn't go into QuickBooks unless that center software, it goes into that center software and it says $25. If I click that $25, then that goes into QuickBooks. Now that's recorded. So if I've got $100 that I'm going to deposit, then in that center software, I can click $100 cash, and it comes into QuickBooks, and it matches that $100 deposit.
Okay. How much do you figure you paid back?
I don't know, sir.
Ballpark for me how much you figure. Well, first of all, how often did you pay back?
Not very often.
Okay. A half a dozen times? A dozen times? 2 dozen times? What?
Maybe 6 times.
Okay. Yeah. And when you paid back, how much generally were you paying back?
It was a small amount, maybe $100, $200 at a time.
Okay. See, I don't know that I believe you when you say that.
It's true, sir. I promise you.
Look, listen. I don't know. I'm just telling you that I don't believe that.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
Ms. Tuttle?
Your Honor, Brian Gidley wishes to speak at this time.
Good morning, Judge O'Donnell. Thank you for the time. Appreciate your time reading through this case. Obviously, reading through the impact statements. A little bit about myself before I get into some of the things I want to say. I'm a second-generation owner. My parents started the company when I was a kid to provide better for our family. I understand what it means to provide better for your family through hard work. I'm speaking on behalf of myself, my wife Dylan, my mom and dad, both of my adult children, and all the folks you see behind me who've been impacted, as well as those who would not and could not attend this morning that were impacted by Mr. Williams' actions. When my parents started the business in 1975, it was in my grandmother's basement. They worked hard. We bought a house. We moved it into our basement. We then worked for years on weekends and evenings, because my dad worked a full-time job, as a family to provide to where we could have a pool in the backyard, things of that nature. When I graduated college, I had a choice. I could go out into the real world and work, or go in the real world of business. I made the decision to go into business with my parents and take the business over. That was 1991. I took that business with my mom and dad next to me, and we grew it through 16-hour days, 7-day work weeks, and an immense amount of work to build. In that time, they taught me to work hard, treat people right, and always earn your keep. They taught me that respect is earned and never given. A little bit about myself in addition to what I've said. You had mentioned the 3 locations. When I took over in 1991, we were still in the house. We moved out. We bought other small businesses. We then we bought Shetler's in Middlefield in 1999. And we grew that through hard work and our team. When I say we, I mean our team. The people that we employ are not employees, they're associates. They're teammates and their family. And they know that by the way we act and how we treat them. Through the time, my entire adult life has been dedicated to building a legacy that my dad and mom started. I wanted to leave it to my kids and have the opportunity for them if they wanted it. But I also understand if they don't, it's still their choice. That choice has been decimated by Mr. Williams. I value and respect deeply my associates. They're like family to me. I'm up sleepless nights worrying about payroll. I'm in early. I work late. I come in on the weekends. I do whatever it takes to make sure they have a paycheck and they have an opportunity and they have security. That security was ripped away from them when this happened. The companies, respectively, have been in business 50 years in Painesville, 94 years in Middlefield. That company, that location has been absolutely decimated as well. When you can't buy inventory and you have people who come in and your store shelves are empty and you have pink State of Ohio Department of Taxation things on your window, word travels fast in the Amish community, and they don't forget. Competition has moved in. We no longer are the only company there. There's 3 of us now. We've survived as a company through the other owners who started that, the Great Depression, recessions, fierce competition, the COVID-19 pandemic, which decimated our sales in our Painesville location, but we nearly have not survived what Mr. Williams did to us in ruining our reputation. His actions shattered our cash flow. It jeopardized 16 associates' livelihoods, ruined our reputation that we worked 50 plus years as a family to establish. In order to keep the doors open, myself, my wife, and my parents cashed in money. We influxed as much money as we could because I had a decision to make. I had to look all these people in the eye, I had to look my parents in the eye and say, we were stolen from. We don't have enough money to make payroll. Why, Brian? Weren't you watching? Yes, I was watching. But when you implement a system that you're the one that implements it in the middle and you manage it, it makes it a lot easier and a lot harder to catch. Our accountants didn't catch it. I caught it. I caught it in February of 2023. After having a great year in February of 2024, having a great year in 2023, I gave back to our associates. I gave them a Christmas party. I gave bonuses. I cashed in points on credit cards to give them gifts. We closed for the day. I gave back everything. Mr. Williams took part in that. All the while knowing he had already stolen tens of thousands of dollars at that point. He knew it and the deposits showed it. I don't buy that he gave the money back. I'd love to see the receipts on that. Mr. Williams alluded he had been with the company just over a year. He was there a year and 7 months when he was promoted into this position. He did work in our facility. He started part-time, worked to full-time. I continually do this with my team. I give our associates opportunities. I also trust. If I have to watch over everything you do, I'm never going to get the opportunity to build the business, to give more security to my team. So I trust him. I trust my team. They're standing behind me. Former and current associates are here today because of the impact of Mr. Williams. He was promoted to the store manager. Little did I know in doing this, he learned the ins and outs of our business. He was able to figure out what we were teaching him. Little did I know was going to be used against me and against all of us. Our bookkeeper at the time had a great opportunity. She called me and said, I don't want to leave, but this is a great opportunity closer to home. The position became available. Mr. Williams had experience. I offered it to him. He accepted it. He started in that position in training the last 2 weeks of May of 2023. He took it over full-time around June 2nd of 2024. Money started missing in July of 2020. July of 2023. It was May of 2023 he was offered the position. The money started missing in July of 2023, small amounts. It went undetected. It was very good how he did it until I caught on, and then once I caught on, I figured it out very fast. He took what was taught to him. Our former bookkeeper gave him notes, gave him everything. When he says he wasn't trained, it's not accurate. She probably gave you a statement. She trained him the entire time and said, here's my number, call me if you need anything. She followed up because she cared about me. She cared about our team. She followed up with Mr. Williams to say, do you need anything? No, I'm good. Do you have any questions? No. When he did, he may reach out 1 or 2 times. It came to January of 2024, and she went in the books to help him reconcile some stuff, and she noticed that the taxes had discrepancies. And she said, does Brian know about this? And Jonathan assured her I did. That is not accurate. That is not accurate. This is the person that I am. I personally loaned Mr. Williams money when he first came aboard. He came to me and said, I don't have enough cash during the holiday time. I have something, I have a bill I have to pay, whatever it was. I took money out of my pocket and I loaned it to him. And I told him it was a loan. He came back to me and said, I'd like to pay that loan back. And I said, it's forgiven. I appreciate what you do. That's who I am. I gave him the flex time he needed. He was a photographer. He asked if he could do the photography on the side. I said, absolutely. As long as your job is done, I am flexible. You can work Sunday evening so you can have Monday and Tuesday off to be with your family. I don't care. Just make sure your job is done. He was given so much opportunity. I included him in a new business venture I had and said, how can we help build your photography business local to where he could spend time with his family? All the while, he's stealing from me. It's unbelievable. It's just absolutely unbelievable. He just didn't steal money from me and my family and our team. He stole from our vendors, 50-year relationships down the tubes, credit pulled. You're on COD. When I have three suppliers, 2 of them say, we're not selling to you, one says, I'll sell to you, and then raise their price 30% to me because it was a risk. How do I argue that? I understand it. I wasn't able to pay my bill. I had to pay the price. I didn't take salary for months on end after putting all my money back into the company. Meanwhile, Mr. Williams gets to live his life, do what he wants, post on social media how God is great and all this stuff. I am a man of God, I do believe, but you can't hide behind that shield, Your Honor. While Mr. Williams was doing all this, I worked 16-hour days, 12-hour days, 6 and 7 days a week. My wife, who lost her job in February of 2023, came to work, February 2024, came to work for the company to help us dig out. Instead of her looking for a job, she's working to help save. Well, really, it was like, why are we saving this? It was absolutely decimated. Your Honor, I'll tell you why I saved it. It's those folks right there. When I have to look them in the eye and say, on my watch, he stole from me, I am not giving up on you. And I didn't, and I haven't. Yes, we had to close our one location. Yes, I had to sell the other businesses. And the Middlefield location is suffering immensely. The day came in June of 2024 when one of my teammates came into my office and said, Brian, there's 2 guys with guns in the lobby. I said, excuse me? Gives me the business card, Department of Taxation. They say they're here to close us down. She brings them in the conference room, and I sat there for 4 hours with them, explaining, this is news to me. I did not know. I knew there were cashier checks because that's how we let Mr. Williams go. He actually resigned, but we had locked him out of everything on a Saturday in early May, May 4th to be exact. We locked him out because we finally had enough proof. Working with the City of Painesville Detective Bureau, our insurance company, our attorney, they all said, when I found this in February of 2024, they said, Brian, we need more evidence. So I had to sit there and watch him steal the money, watch the money come in at the store, because I have checks and balances. I have black and white proof that this amount of cash came in and it never made it to the bank. Tens of thousands of dollars a month, gone. The BCI unit, I gave them all the evidence. They came up with the number. I didn't. You had said that. They took a long time to go through it. It's accurate. As far as just the cash, he manipulated my books. He manipulated QuickBooks. He put charges in there, and that's how he got caught. Because I know my books. I've been doing this 40 years. And when I see an even number put in for repairs and maintenance of $2,400, I know that's not accurate. Nobody has a bill for that amount of money. It's $2,412.16. So that was the red flag that I finally was able to unravel it. When they closed my doors, they told me I had to pay that day over $20,000 in back taxes and penalties. And they were not leaving. They had the notice on the door. I still have a picture of it. They said they had agents on their way to our other locations to close them down. The effects were absolutely devastating. And I had to deal with it. I was left with the mess. He wasn't. He quit. He ran. Working with him for weeks was so painful. My wife and I fought. She came in. She says, how can you stand watching him knowing he's stealing? And she's right. And I said, honey, you've got to stay the course. The Detective Bureau, everybody said this is what you need to do to catch him. I said, I already have 6 months of evidence. Why do I need 2 more? Meanwhile, the money's just going like this. The straw that broke the camel's back was in late March when he came to me and told me we couldn't meet payroll. And I knew at that point in time he had stolen tens of thousands of dollars. And I said, something's not right. I'm going to go back to my accountant. And I said, I'm going to go back to the reconciliation at the beginning of the year, and we're going to find this. Do you know, through forensics, we found on his computer, he searched that afternoon how to undo the year-end transactions? No excuse. I have so much more I can say, Judge, but Your Honor, but I'm just going to try and stay focused. While we endured this trauma for the last 2.5 years, during the time he was stealing, he was buying a house. He admitted that. I knew where the money went. I told everybody that was close to me, I know exactly where the money went. Cars for his kids, vacation in December of that year. All the while, I'm wondering, where's my money going? We're a very tight margin business. We don't make a ton of money. So when you take $58,000 and then you manipulate books and whatever else he was doing that the forensics didn't catch, it's detrimental. It's just absolutely detrimental. Over this time, he talks about him falling into depression. I'm a very outgoing person. I built this business with my family and my team by being out in public, going to see customers. I stopped going to see customers. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to go to work and see them. I would work off hours so I didn't have to see my associates because I was embarrassed. I still haven't recovered from that, Your Honor. I go home at night and I don't want to see anybody or talk to anybody because I trust no one outside of my immediate family, which is here, because of his actions. And I'm a trusting person. You tell me you're going to do something, Your Honor, I trust you. And then you prove me wrong. I need to change that because I was taken advantage of. The effects, Mr. Williams left me and others holding the bag of his destruction that he created. I woke up in that February night, middle of the night, and I said, something's not right. And I spent all night, I was up all night. I woke my wife up at 4 o'clock in the morning and said, as I had papers and I had computer stuff everywhere, I said, I want you to look at this. Make sure I'm not missing something. She looked and said, something's not right. Called my accountant immediately. Started looking into it, figured it out. It was accurate. Going back to the biggest decision of my life, when you grow up in a company and you see it from the day it starts to what you built and then see it dismantled in 10 months and then hear that he's willing or able to try and pay for $500 or $1,000 a month, Your Honor, I probably won't be around to see that. It took him 10 months to steal it. He should pay it back in 10 months. He's had 2 years of knowing he stole. Why hasn't he saved the money? Because he doesn't care. We spent tens of thousands of dollars hiring a forensic accountant. They're extremely expensive. And then when I finally was working with the courts, they said, we can have BCI unit do it. I had already spent the money. It's okay. It's what I had to do to save the company. I understand that. The vendors, the relationships. We're 2.5 years down the road. I am just now off of the state of Ohio's record for being watched every month. I can't remember off the top of my head where they put me, but it was the high risk unit. I couldn't be late on a payment. Every dime and penny had to be accounted for. And if I missed 1 month, if it was 11 months in and I missed a month, it reset for another 12 months. Mr. Williams doesn't have to deal with that every day. The pressure on its own is enormous. To add insult to injury, during the time Mr. Williams was stealing from me and we found this, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. So instead of me being able to be in the moment with her and my dad, I have to balance too. My stepdaughter's getting married a month later. My wife's happiest time ripped away from Mr. Williams' actions. And he wants mercy? Where's our mercy? The trust we placed in a business associate was shattered by Mr. Williams. His actions did not merely steal the money, he eroded nearly a century of work, 100 years almost in Middlefield. Gone. The name is been dragged through the mud. We had a bustling store. We don't have that anymore, Your Honor. We have a store that's trying to survive through every person that's here and the folks that are out there right now working that couldn't be here, trying to survive. And thank the Lord they stood by me. I've had folks that haven't, and I completely understand that. This is not their fight. They didn't sign up for this. They expect me to take care of it, and I failed them. In working 40 plus years in building these businesses, if anyone in this room knows about a small business, it's very hard to save for a retirement. Your retirement is your business. It is selling your business. That is your retirement that you built. It's gone. 40 years of my life, 50 years of my parents' retirement gone because of his actions. This statement cannot express the breadth and depth of harm caused by Mr. Williams' actions. Our priority is accountability, ensuring that such breaches of trust are addressed with the maximum consequences under the law, and that measures are in place to support victims and prevent future harm, not only from folks, from Mr. Williams, but other folks in the community. It's amazing, Your Honor, when I started, finally the word got out that LBL and Shetler was embezzled. I had 5 people reach out to me and say we were embezzled from. But you never hear that because nobody wants to talk about it. 3 of them never pursued it because they were embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed. I know I missed. I know I trusted. I'm not embarrassed by that. I will never be embarrassed by trusting. I will always look behind my back now, moving forward. We seek a resolution that recognizes the extensive impact on our business, our family, and our community. And I want that to uphold the integrity of the justice system. We want to help prevent this from happening to unsuspecting employers, and that victims can begin to heal and move forward, rebuilding their lives. Victims that are sitting behind me and also at work right now, and those who have left our business, who I know, Your Honor, you received victim impact statements. They felt it that necessary to speak how it impacted them. We also request explicit acknowledgement of the financial devastation caused by his wrongdoing and destruction. Mr. Williams took 10 months to unravel nearly a century of blood, sweat, and tears and create devastation, and we respectfully request that he repay it in the financial side within the time frame that he stole it. He's already had a 2-year head start, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Tuttle.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I previously stated, there is a joint recommendation for a period of community control sanctions here based on the level of the offense and the fact that the defendant doesn't have any prior criminal history. It's difficult in situations like this where a defendant doesn't have anything prior in their past, but the offense that they committed is serious. It's severe, it's repeated, and it's continual, that we need to balance that lack of criminal history with the harm that he caused. The defendant was in a position of trust. As Mr. Gidley stated, he was trusted by this business, and he had access to funds. He caused serious emotional, mental, and economic harm to Mr. Gidley and everyone that worked for the company, everyone that trusted him. And because of that, and because of his calculated and intentional and repeated behavior over months, there's a punishment element here that certainly needs to be met. Because of that, the state is requesting that the defendant serve a period of local incarceration and that it be a substantial period because his actions were substantial. The restitution amount here is $58,257.21. That's more than the defendant's yearly salary was working for this company. That's the amount of money that never made it to the bank. So if the defendant gave some money back or put some money back, that means that what he took originally was higher than that $58,000 number. I know that the defendant stated today that based on the lifestyle he lives, he doesn't think there was any way he took more than $10,000 to $12,000. The state provided his own bank records as part of discovery in this case. His own bank records showed that over that mere 10-month period in time, he was going to his own bank, sometimes daily, and deposited over $36,000 in cash to his own account. That's what made it from his hands into his bank. There's 20 more thousand in cash that never made it to the business account, and the defendant used for his own personal gain. Based on all of this, the state believes that a jail term is necessary to protect the public and others from this offender and to punish him for the crime that he committed. Thank you.
Thank you. I reviewed the pre-sentence report, the victim impact statement. I have listened to Mr. Williams, those who spoke on his behalf, Mr. Gidley. I've listened to the attorneys, and I have considered all the provisions in 29-29-11, 29-29-12, and 29-29-13. There is no good resolution to this case. I could send you to prison for 18 months, and you can have a judgment for $58,257.21 that would leave Mr. Gidley chasing that money the rest of his life. I can put you on probation and with the idea that you're going to pay back the restitution. Okay? Now, regardless whether I take Route 1 or Route 2, that will never make Mr. Gidley or that business whole. Even if you wrote a check, cashier's check for that full amount today, that doesn't put them in the position they were in. And nothing ever will. Nothing ever will. Okay? And the problem here, Mr. Williams, is that you're a manipulator. Now, you certainly, from the time you went to work for Mr. Gidley, you were a manipulator because you manipulated him the entire time you lived there, or worked there, rather. Okay, the entire time. Little by little, you manipulated him, his family, in that business. And I mean, you shake your head no that you didn't. You did. Okay? Clearly you did. You found a way to get away with what you got away with to the tune of $58,000 for a substantial period of time. And then, when you were called on it by Mr. Gidley, your response was to go back to try to manipulate records retroactively. Okay? So the entire time you worked at that place of employment, you were a Class A manipulator. And as I sit here and listen to all this today, and particularly you're still manipulating. Okay? Because you talked about an amount that you didn't think was anywhere near that, but Ms. Tuttle just indicated there was an influx of $36,000 in cash to your bank account during this time period. Okay? So you know full well what you did, and you try to minimize it now. And that, sir, is not taking responsibility. That is trying to parse things, which means you're evading responsibility. Okay? So now, whether you were a manipulator before that, I don't have the slightest idea. Okay? My guess is you were. This wasn't a sudden behavior that you learned when you went to work for Mr. Gidley. Okay? So my guess is, to some degree and in some sense, you've been manipulating people for a good long time. So now the question is, what's the appropriate punishment? Okay. The only thing, the only possible thing, positive that you can do going forward for the benefit of Mr. Gidley and that business is to pay them back the money you stole. Okay? But like I said, that ain't the half of it. Okay, they're devastated for the remainder, and there's no way around that. Okay, and boy, it didn't take long for you to destroy what had been built up. And I don't know that you grasped that before you walked in here, or you grasp it now, or you'll ever grasp it. Okay, because you and your wife and the pastor are focused on your redemption. And I think Mr. Williams or somebody early on said that for me to give you the opportunity to redeem yourself. I ain't in the redemption business, okay? It's not my thing, okay? So in consideration of everything, I'm going to accept the joint recommendation of council. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 180 days in the Lake County Jail with credit for 2. Now, I am going to permit you work release, and the only reason I'm going to permit you work release is to pay them back. Because they have to get paid back. That's the only justice they can get from this case, is to get paid back. You're going to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened regularly. You're to pay restitution in the amount of $58,257.21 to the victim. And you're the one that suggested that you're going to pay it back of at least $500 a month currently, possibly up to $1,000. So in the immediate future, I'm going to order that it be at the rate of $500 a month, which I'm going to review, because you are going to do this by work release. But we will review that order We'll review the amount of that order. At a hearing that will take place on October 28th at 11:30 a.m. And we will review it periodically to ensure that progress is being made. There's no realistic possibility, absent some unusual happening, that you're going to pay back $58,257.21 within 10 months. You're to have no contact with the victims, nor cause anybody to have any contact with them. All your dealings with restitution will be made through the probation department. You are to maintain throughout this period of community control full employment. And you're going to pay the cost and supervision fees. Ms. Randazzo, any other terms you think are applicable?
Would Your Honor like me to mental health evaluation?
Yes.
Nothing further.
You are going to get a mental health evaluation and follow all recommendations. Mr. Williams, do you understand the terms of your community control?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about them?
No, sir.
If you violate, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, then you face potentially 18 months in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else, Ms. Tuttle?
Your Honor, would you like me to put that next court date in the order?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else. Thank you.
Mr. Williams?
Just as it relates to the work release, Your Honor, obviously Mr. Williams had indicated there are a number of jobs he's working. Would this be specifically to his primary source of employment as a bus driver?
You're going to have to get me places of employment and times of employment, and the order will be fashioned in consideration of those things.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty, friends, TCF Live, coming up on hour 3 already. That was a long hearing. That was one of the more interesting hearings that we've had in a while for sure. He definitely screwed over a family business, which is definitely not something that is a good thing. Now, with regards to his emotion at the end, I pointed this out in the chat, but I think it's worth saying out loud. And I'm by no means defending this guy. Let's be clear on that. He done messed up and he needs to pay for what he's done. But I want us to consider two things. First, and I pointed this out, we would be equally as upset as if he had sat there stoic, not showing any emotion whatsoever for what he's done. And it was pointed out by one of you that why is he crying? He knew the plea deal. Correct. But we don't know. It could be that the weight of that moment finally brought him to realization of what he's done, and that was the reason for his tears. We just don't know. We don't know what's in that man's heart. We don't know what's in his mind. But he's definitely going to pay for what he's done, as he should. So, and it looks like my camera's frozen. We should fix that. But anyways, I just want to point that out. This is more complicated than I think what we initially see. And I think it's just worth bearing that in mind. He's a douchebag. That's what Tot says. I don't disagree with you. Look, I said I'm not defending this guy. Not at all. He messed up. But I don't, I know that I'm frozen, Ashley. I'll work on that. But I don't think there's a reason to pass judgment necessarily on his emotions, because we don't know exactly what's in his heart. So I'm just saying, consider that. Wahoo says I still lack empathy for him. I get it. Like I said, I'm not defending this guy. I'm just saying, think about the reactions that we have, because as I pointed out in the chat, we'd be upset with anything that he reacted at. There was nothing that guy was going to do in the moment that was going to be okay. Anywho, just food for thought. Let's go Texas. Our channel's promised to 9 to 11% more Judge Boyd, and I'll work on unfreezing my camera.
It's an inch longer, then it could be like capris. But when they said you were wearing shorts, I thought it was short shorts.
No, I mean, good look. I said they were nice.
But you look fine. You know what? It's hard sometimes to listen to men. Should I say that? I did.
Objection, Your Honor.
Do they know anything about fashion? I don't know.
Proven fact, not an evidence. False speculation. Should I continue?
You know, it's like from the movie The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, where Eli Wallach says, women's fashion, shameless. But your fashion is not shameless. You're fine, okay? When they said shorts, I thought they were talking about short shorts. Those are close to being capris, or as we call them in my day, gauchos or pedal pushers. So you're good. All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 007400, State versus Devonna B. Could I have parties announced?
Dr. Bias on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Bovee?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
State has complained. We have reviewed, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Bovee, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your
Yes, I
attorney?
did, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the motion as presented?
We are, Judge.
Ms. Bovee, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you. You will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
She is, Your Honor.
Ms. Bovee, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine to be probated, and the state is recommending deferred. Did you understand that to be your plea?
I do, Your Honor.
State defense?
That is the plea, Judge.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Any such motions? Counsel,
No,
any
ma'am.
such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be 100 hours community service, restitution, the DOEP course, and regular UAs. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
That go up to exhibit number 1, including all attachments.
Your Honor, after reviewing the evidence with my client, we have no objections.
State, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm sorry, state, what's her criminal history?
Judge, she has, the only conviction that she has is failure to ID as a fugitive from justice.
All right, thank you. All right. Wait a minute, a fugitive from justice?
Sorry, Judge?
You say a failure to ID, is it from a fugitive, failure to ID, fugitive from justice?
Yes, must be.
What is she a fugitive from justice from, or is that just?
That's not in the TCIC, NCIC. She does have a few other arrests for drug crimes and drug trespass, but that's her sole conviction.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Ms. Bovee, did you see the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after viewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Other than the fact that she was late, she's been a model client for me otherwise, and she apologized for her dressing, but she's grateful for the offer from the state, and she's asking that you accept that, Your Honor, and put it on defer.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Not good because I fell off the wagon.
All right, so what did you use?
I used cocaine.
All right, and other than cocaine, have you used any other substances in the past? Well, I mean, but in this case, there's meth. So
Yeah.
have you used meth?
All I can say is it wasn't mine, but I'm guilty of it because it was on my car.
Okay. And so how often in the past have you been using drugs?
A lot.
Okay. So how did you start using drugs?
I got off drugs and then I got COPD and then I got suppressed and then I fell off the ladder. But I was good for a while.
All right, and when did you first start? How old were you?
13. And I'm 56 now. So.
All right, are you employed or retired?
No, I'm permanently disabled.
All right, and what's your disability?
COPD, it's JPLR 0.79. That's what they call
All right, and are you receiving Social Security or anything?
it. I'm waiting for it to be come through, but.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you spend your day?
With my grandchildren.
And how old are they?
My grandchild, she's 9.
I'm sorry, what?
She's 9. So,
All right, and does your grandchild live at the home with you?
no, she's
All right. And your husband, has he used?
no, he works for the city. He's never done drugs. He doesn't do drugs. No privilege.
All right, this is what the court will do. There's $1,000 fine to be probated. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, proof of employment or SSI within 60 days. No employment as a home health care provider or minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 8 months. TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. A referral to felony drug court. You're going to need to make sure you make all of these appointments. You understand? All right. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. That may change once she presents to the court that she's complete, clean and sober. All right. There is going to be sober support meetings. 1 sober support meeting per week. And the court will sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification? I'm sorry, in Ms. Abrams, there's going to be no possession of firearms.
Judge.
Did you review the document entitled
Yeah.
Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and
Yes,
sign
I
it?
understood. Sign it.
Because it's plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Your Honor.
All right, so here's the thing. Drug addiction is very hard. You're gonna have to change people, places, and things, and that's hard to do. But felony drug court is a good program, so if you are accepted into that program, it would probably be for your best, okay?
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Hour 3 of TCF Live on this glorious Thursday. Tim, $5. Good court today, he says. Thank you, Tim, for your support, and I'm glad you're enjoying the day. Very much appreciate that. Let's go to Louisiana. We'll check in with the board.
50. My name is Pete Freeman. I will be the chair today. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. With the staff at headquarters, please identify yourself.
Yes, it's on.
Cheryl.
Francis Abbott.
Okay, and, would, the staff at, Assumption, would you introduce yourself, ma'am?
Deputy Darla Talbot.
Okay, Miss Darla, do you know anything about the inmate? Anything you could tell us about him since he's been there?
He's
Any
a
problems?
very good, no problems at all. Very good inmate.
That's all I needed to, hear. Okay, Mr. Watkins, please state your name and DOC.
Name is Michael Watkins, 130718.
Okay, Mr. Watkins, also, do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
Yes.
Okay, you realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel. If you wanted counsel, you would have to hire them.
I'm aware of that. That informed me of that. I was trying to ask for counsel, but they told me I wouldn't entitled to counsel. But he said that I had a retained counsel, but I didn't have a retained counsel. I had a court appointed counsel.
Right. This here you would have to hire it as long as you, as we find you competent. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip through it and let Mr. Kolar, Mr. Tony, he's on the phone, your uncle, he wants to speak on your behalf. So Mr. Kolar, why don't you go on and tell us what you want us to know about your nephew?
Well, when he first was released, he went to work at John Boss and Company, a food producing company, food processing company. And in the evening, in his spare time, he would stop by my house, and I had a lot of big trees around my place, and a lot of landscaping need to be done. I have 2 properties, and he would help me on that. And he was the best I've ever had. I've had the properties for years, and real good at that. Most nice personality, no problem at all. And it kind of made me wonder, I thought he should have been somewhere else making 6-figure money, because he was kind of like catering to the job.
Correct.
He acted as a hostess doing the work. So I enjoyed that. And I'm sorry right now that he's not with me now.
Okay, so if he gets out of jail, you would give him back a job?
Oh, absolutely, as much as I can. I can use him yesterday.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kolar. And while we're listening to the people on your behalf, let's hear from Miss Victoria Gray. Miss Gray? Miss Gray, are you with us? Please unmute your mic, Miss Gray. We can't hear you. Okay, we're gonna pass on Miss Gray. If you get her, let me know and we'll come back to her. Okay, your case was assigned to Miss Carolyn. She'll read your violation and we'll go over what's going on.
Okay, sir. All right, Mr. Watkins, we have here that you are in violation of rule number 4. You were arrested by the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office and charged with felony failure to register as a sex offender on 7/23/2025. And it says the offender's court date for pending charges set for a guilty plea cutoff on 6/22/2026 is reset to 8/24/2026. And then it's case number ASM 25CR131. How do you plead to that, sir? And you can plead guilty, not guilty, or with a statement.
I like to plead not guilty with a statement.
Okay. All right, well, that's your only charge, so go ahead and tell us what you think happened.
Well, basically, let me start with when I first got out of prison.
Okay.
December the 4th, from Madison from Tallulah, Louisiana. I was trying to get back to DOC to try to get the pre-release programs. And said DOC didn't want me. But I got out and they took me to the bus station I didn't have no ID. It took my prison ID. So I got out, and the next day I went up to the parole officer, and I'm thinking that the parole office and the police department the same thing. I've been gone 35 years. So I really don't know, really lost. It's like, coming into a whole new world. The whole world has changed in 35 years. So
35 years in jail?
yeah, I've done 35 years. Yes, ma'am. So based on that, I signed up to register. They tell me I got to go every 90 days. I got to pay my fee. I paid all my fees, done what I was supposed to do for a year completely. So I done seen like 2 different people to 3 different people, two in Lavelyville and one in Assumption Sheriff Department down here, paying my fee and doing my registration. And based on that, all the way through 2024, seeing like 3 different people. So now we're dealing with now December of 2024. I go do my yearly registration. So as I do my yearly registration, I pay my fee. So my next registration is supposed to be in March. Okay, what happened is, March 18th, I signed up, I registered for my 90 days. Okay, from there, I had to do my yearly registration for the job in Assumption Parish. So I done that. So I got the same address, 188 Master Lane, on both addresses.
Okay.
Job registration address and my resident address, the same thing on Assumption Parish. So on May the 19th, Deputy Stallman from Assumption Parish came to the house, and I didn't know that, that sheriff even come to the house. I'm thinking the only person come check my house is my parole officer, which is Chad Brenner, Mr. Chad Brenner. So he comes, I'm sitting on the porch, he comes and he gets out of his car. I don't even know he's a police officer. I'm new, I haven't been gone 35 years. I don't know who the police officer is, what the color they call it, or nothing. They ain't got stamped on the side they call. A sheriff, I don't even know, undercover police, so he gets out the car and he opens the back of his trunk and he gets his camera and he comes, he said, I need to inspect your house. So I see that he got his gun and your ID. I said, well, it's police. So I'm thinking, this is something new to me. I never had a sheriff come to the house. So he came, he inspected, he said he had to see whether or not the water run, whether or not the lights on, whether I was actually living there, take pictures to see, make sure I had clothes and food and that I was actually living there. He told me, he said, okay, your registration good. So I said, well, he said, this is for your registration. I said, when do you come regularly? He said, I said, when you supposed to come back? I said, if I don't be home, I'm usually down the street on the same property by my 2 ATs. One is 80. The other one is almost 80. My uncle is 80 something. My cousin stay next door to them. He's blind. He just went through chemo. So
Get to where the arrest happened. What the arrest did you for?
Fake the register. So what happened is, I'm thinking that when he told me my registration is updated is good, I'm thinking 90 days from that date until August.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that my registration is good. I'm not under the impression that I'm not registered. When they come to the job when I'm registered and pick me up. They said they had a warrant for my arrest. I said, arrest for what? He said, for you to register. So I comes out, so I said, well, let me call my parole officer. I said, I tried to call Chad. He didn't answer the phone. So Assumption Parish got me from Madison and brought me down here. That's how I wind up in this here. But I don't have a problem registering.
All right, let's hear from some other people. Your sister is now with us on Zoom. Miss Gray, your aunt, what do you have to say about the subject?
Yes, he is correct. But that's my boy. When he got out, he was right here with me. I appreciate having him here because with me staying by myself, he was a great help and helping me do things that a lot of stuff that I needed done, and I appreciate him coming home to help me. I miss him right now that he's not here to help me. When I go to work, I had my daughter. She was, wherever he had to go, she would take it, and she didn't take it, her daughter would take it. We made sure, with him being with us, everything was done the way y'all wanted to be done because his parole officer had come and talked to me already. And he didn't get into no trouble or nothing. We was with him all the way, and I miss him right now because I'm by myself and I'm 80 years old, half blind, can't hear out of one ear. And it's bad for me being by myself now.
Ma'am.
I
Okay.
sure wish he was home right now with me to help me.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much for calling in on behalf. Okay, let's hear from Mr. McGrew. Mr. McGrew, tell us about how this all went down. And I see
good
you in
morning.
jail a year, so.
Yes, sir. So I took this case over at the beginning of the year. So he was already in jail. He had reached his 6 months. So at that point, we activated the hearing process. Prior to that, I did not have this case. So I've never dealt with Mr. Watkins in the field or anything like that. So I'm just here to kind of explain if there's any concerns or questions through the hearing process. That's kind of when I stepped into this case.
Okay. No, I have no question.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Mr. Watkins, do you believe that you should have to register, you know?
Yes, ma'am. As long as I'm convicted, I have to register. I have no choice but to register.
And the confusion just came in that you registered this address on your job and you felt like that covered both places. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I felt that's part of what happened, but I still felt as though when he came to the house, meaning I had a miscommunication, misunderstanding of when I was supposed to go back and register him. I was counting from the 90 days that when he came to the house, but I have the same address from the house and down here. I'm trying to make sure that I do both of them because I know that I need to register. I'm not, where law enforcement could contact me, know where I'm at, in case they're looking for me for something.
All right, so you're doing your best to try and comply, and that's what I'm hearing. Is that correct? And there was some misunderstanding. And if you were to get out, you understand what you need to do to comply.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that there was a difference in agents and stuff like that, and that messed you up and everything. That's understandable. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing. All right, that's what I wanted to find out. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I have no question. Tills? Okay, Ms. Callen, you ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my vote today is to not revoke you.
Ms. Tillis? Okay, my vote today is to not revoke because you've been in jail a year, but you ought to report directly to your probation officer. And you don't get 3 strikes, you get 1 strike. This is it, okay? Because you are a section and it is very important you register. So next time we won't be listening to anything, you understand, correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, well, go on out there and make us proud now. Don't do anything bad.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we closed out at Assumption at 9:05.
Alrighty, friends, about to enter the last half hour of TCF Live. Today has flown by, as they always do. Reminder tonight, Sidebar, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel, our 1-year anniversary for that show. So do please join us. We will redirect this stream once it's ended over to that show, so you can set a reminder. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific tonight. Let's go back to Judge McNally. Haven't been there in a while.
Officer, Mr. Granada, go tell him, please. Your name, ma'am?
Cheryl.
You're going to plead to impeding, right?
Yes.
Responsible or not responsible to that charge? All right. Please accept. Slower, 150. Cashier into the hall to the right. You're all set.
Yeah, this is Cheryl.
Okay. Anna and Tomko. 26R 514-766. Come on up here, Ms. Tomko. All right. Your name?
Anne-Marie Tomko.
All right. You're going to plead impaired. To impeding?
Yes.
To that charge, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Please accepted, 155. Original charge dismissed. Good luck. Could I have Cheryl up here? Candace, Rose, Lowry, Cheryl, file, Juice 2F, 2377715 A and B. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. Peter Brown, P78413, and my legal counsel for Ms. Cheryl.
Ma'am, your name?
And the sheriff?
So she's going to plead. Why are we pleading no contest?
Pleading no contest because of the law. It happened in about 4 years, a little over 4 years ago.
You don't remember? How often you get involved in accidents? Ms. Sheriff.
How often have you been in accidents?
Well, then why don't you remember? I remember when I got in an accident when I was 16, that was my fault. I can still tell you where it was, when it was. It was Christmas Day. You don't remember?
No.
Do I have a police report?
We do. And that
Where is it?
It's in one of them. I read it, and basically, I read it to Miss Cheryl, sort of refresh her recollection.
Sort of?
Well,
I don't see it. I need a police report. If I take a no contest plea, I mean, I'll take her at her word that she doesn't remember, but I don't have one in here, I don't believe. You're gonna have to go find one from Mr. Cayley.
I might have left it in there.
Well, okay, go ahead and get it, and I'll call the case again. McNally Wilson, Jordan Elizabeth McNally Wilson, 26W8423808. Your name, ma'am?
Jordan McNally Wilson.
I sentenced you already, right?
Yes, sir.
Now they're call over probation. Tell them I don't have the sentencing probation sentence in here. Ask them to bring it to me. Oh, they got it somewhere else. I see.
Not for sentencing, sir. This is.
I know it's, I still need to see the sentencing, but you're charged with failure to pay fines and costs as ordered, balance owing 1,100, count 1. I gave you payment plan of $75 a week starting June 15th. You're now behind $225. Then count 2 is you failed to submit the biweekly testing as ordered on July the 8th of 26. You understand the charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sadie, I need this on the back of that statement, please. If you plead guilty here, there would be 2 technical violations. You could receive 10 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign, read, and understand and advice of rights form here today?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. We're not going to have a hearing or a trial of any kind. Do you understand that? You do have the right to a lawyer. If you cannot afford one, either way, I'll appoint you one if you want one. Would you like a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
When in the world did I put that arraignment stamp? John?
Judge, if I could also ask you if we could change.
I'm not guilty plea. You're gonna go talk to a lawyer. And then you're going to come back in here and talk to me, okay? And your lawyer can ask me all those questions, all right? So go out in the hallway, we'll give you a defense attorney, and you'll come back in front of me, all right? Good luck. I can't find my things. I just had it here. You see it anywhere? Oh, here it is. I got it. We need that file there, please. No, I don't need it. That's good. Thomas Shelton. 26R 514-755 A and B. Your name?
Thomas Shelton.
So I understand you're going to plead responsible to impeding. They're going to dismiss the speeding, and they're also going to plead guilty to or responsible to operating while texting. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
If you plead responsible to impeding, I'll dismiss the speed. To that charge, responsible or not responsible. The charge of operating a motor vehicle while texting or using a handheld device, responsible or not responsible. Pleas are accepted, speeds dismissed. Why are you, John? Why are you texting? This has to go in.
I just started a new job the day before on the second drive out there and my phone and my.
You can't. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I see people wandering all over like they're drunk when they're doing that. $200 on the operating while intoxicated, $150 on the impeding, $350. You can go down the home, pay that, and you're all set. And you have that, right? $350.
Oh, I have 300 right now.
Other, give them time to pay on the other 50, okay?
Judge, I'm sorry, how much was it cut out on the impeding? I got 200
Operating
for
while
that.
200 on operating while texting, 150 on the impeding, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Jordan Gregory Gillingham, 25F 256 840. Morning, sir. Your name?
Jordan Gregory Gillingham.
All right, you're back here for a review hearing. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Since you were in court on July 24th of 25, have you been arrested? And no?
No.
Any new charges?
No.
Any contact with the police for any reason since then?
No.
You got to stay out of trouble.
Yes, sir, I am. I've just been trying to get all this stuff taken care of so I can just.
Why did it take so long to get rid of that drunk driving out of Romulus?
Oh, they came out of that happened before even this stuff happened, and then
I know it did.
5 months later, they just.
You got to be careful. I'm going to dismiss this case with compliant. That didn't happen until, that happened before you were placed on probation. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss it on motion of the prosecutor. You're all set. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Davina.
So, do I gotta see any? I'm just all good.
You're all good. We'll send you the paperwork.
My man, thank you.
Just don't come and see me again, okay? S.E. Abrahali Davina, 26R514-824.
Yes, sir. I'm on a Zoom.
Your name, sir?
S.A. Debena.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. How are you doing?
You're in Indianapolis?
Yes, sir.
You plead impede?
Yes, sir.
How's your record?
I have a clean record until this point.
You're driving like a maniac. Why?
I apologize, sir. I was just driving my family from Indianapolis to Toronto, and no excuse, sir. There's no reason why I should have been driving.
Charge impeding traffic, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Please accept it. Speeds dismissed 160. Slow down, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
go online, 33court.com and pay that, and you're all set, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time today.
You're all set. Mr. Newman, what case do you have there?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Gotta take it out of you. Gotta.
Alrighty, friends. Again, final half hour of TCF Live. It has been great having you all here with me today. We've had some good court. It's been a good day. Let's go back to the board though. New contestant.
Rhodes.
Good morning.
My name is Pete Freeman. I'm going to be your hearing officer today. Along with me on the panel is Mr. Tillis to my left, Ms. Stapleton to my right. We're now at Washita Parish Correctional. Is there anybody in the room with you?
Just the officer, yes, sir.
Okay, tell him to state his name for the record, please.
Good morning, Deputy Marchand.
Deputy Marchand, have you had any dealings with him since he's been in jail?
He was one of my valued kitchen workers, but due to the medication thing, we had to remove him. But other than that, no, he's been great.
Okay, thank you. All right, and please state your name and DOC number for the record.
Name is Terry L. Rhodes, DOC number 429-633.
Okay, do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see you have hired an attorney, so we don't need to go through that.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Murray, do you want to state your name for the record?
Yeah, Cameron Murray, Louisiana bar roll number 23224. My address is 401 Hudson Lane, Monroe, Louisiana, 71201.
Okay, Mr. Murray, you can help out throughout with him if you want to interject and give him advice, okay?
Yes, and I wanted to, I didn't know if y'all had checked your email. Yesterday, I picked up a copy of the court minutes from Ouachita Parish. Mr. Rhodes entered a guilty plea to criminal mischief in this matter.
Correct.
And it was an uncounseled plea. I attached a copy of the transcript to a motion to withdraw the guilty plea, and that motion was granted. That guilty plea was withdrawn on Monday. I emailed a copy, a certified copy of the minutes to the board at, I think it was Parole Board at Louisiana.gov.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll get back with you, and we'll also at the proper time have Ms. Sullivan speaking to wife on his behalf. Okay. This case was assigned to Mr. Tillis. Mr. Tillis, would you start with the question?
Good morning, Mr. Rhodes. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
I'm going to read some violations and you can plead guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. Violation number 4. On the date 2/14/26, Rhodes was arrested by the Ouachita Police Department and for domestic battery abuse, booked into the Ouachita jail on 5/11/2026. Rhodes was present for court, pled guilty to the amended charges of criminal mischief, and Mr. Rhodes was by court sentenced to serve 90 days in the Ouachita Parish Jail. Credit for time served from February 14, 2026. Waive formal fillings amendment bill. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with the same statement?
Well, if I could interject, an arrest is not a violation. There's commission of a new offense or conviction of a new offense. If that is the thrust of that allegation, we would enter a denial to that because there is no conviction and there was no commission of an offense.
I'll have to have a conviction at the parole hearing to revoke someone's parole. I
understand that.
Okay.
But Your Honor would have to find
right.
Commission of a new offense. We've already shown that there is no conviction.
Correct.
Okay, let's hear from Ms. Sullivan. Are you with us? What would you like to tell us about?
I am.
What would you like to tell us about Mr. Rhodes?
About him as a person and as my husband?
Yes.
Terry is a great person. He is a hard worker. He always shows up. He never complains. He's never really even raised his voice to me before. He has literally changed my life. I am a better person because of him. He has a CDL, which I do as well. I was single for a long time because I was looking for certain things, and Terry checks those boxes, and he's been everything that I could want in a partner and someone that I can see going and changing our lives and doing better for ourselves.
Thank you so much.
I've got a question while you're on there. I'm looking at the police report, okay, which that's what this all stems from. And I do have your letter, but it shows pictures and they took pictures and it says back and under the left eye and under your chin, and that there were bruises. So what do you have to say about all that? Because you said all of that came from him.
Well, I have factor V Leiden disorder. I'm missing the fifth gene in my blood, so I have a gene mutation. So I bruise when the wind blows. Leading up to this police report that you have, our dryer had quit. we'd had an ice storm. We both haul dirt for a living. We're not working. Our bills are getting behind. There was a stack of laundry. And when we were arguing, I went to walk out. Back door was there and a mountain of like 2 weeks of laundry. And we fell. And when we fell, he landed on me. He didn't raise his hand to me. When we fell, the way he fell, we lived in a trailer. We had our washer and dryer at the end of it. So it was like a turn. And right there, we tripped going down the hallway, coming out of the bedroom. And I fell, and he fell on top of me because he was right behind me.
Can I ask if the parole board has a copy of her arrest report from that day? She was arrested as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you have that as well?
I don't know if we have a copy. We realize she was arrested as well.
Okay. Would you
Yes.
like me to get you or send you a copy of her arrest report, which shows that she was the aggressor and she's the one that struck him first?
That's why we're just going to interview her with that. I think we know what all happened. I mean, this was a mutual disturbance, it looks like, between the two. But did we get that arrest report? Do you know? But I don't think it's going to make a difference because we're here for his hearing.
I could actually screen share it with the board if you would like.
You can. Like I said, we're here for him. We're here to see if he violated his condition. We're here to see if he punched her, if he did any of that stuff. If he didn't do any of that stuff, and she ought to be able to testify to that, that's the problem.
Maybe the attorney wants to.
Could I ask Miss Sullivan? Miss Sullivan, who put their hands on whom first?
Me. I did.
And when he put his hands on you, was he defending himself?
Yes.
So why did you call the police? And why did you tell them it was all him?
I didn't call the police.
Who called the police?
He did.
You called the police. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then when they got there, Stacy, you said that he had done all this to you.
Right.
Actually, I didn't say anything. When they said that Terry had told them that I was smoking meth, I kind of just shut down and kept my mouth shut and didn't say anything. I didn't stand up and say what had happened.
Are you smoking meth? Is that what explains a lot of what happened?
That's why it started. That's why we got into it we had a bad week. I'm not proud of what I did. I haven't done it since he saved my life because I've changed my life. I've been gainfully employed. I have an apartment now. I've got back on my feet and I was in a bad place that day. It had been a bad week. I'd had issues. We had been working. Terry had an accident.
Let's get to the, are you scared of this man?
No, not at all. Not in the least.
Hurt you? No,
not at all.
Okay. I mean, we have to listen to you on that. Okay.
And they are married.
They are married. Y'all legally married?
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions.
I have no more questions. Are you ready? Thank you. There's more questions.
No more questions.
I'm ready to vote.
Okay, go ahead and vote.
My vote today is going to be do not revoke, but I would encourage you guys to probably get some counseling, marriage counseling or something.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Second.
I would say, in lieu of revocation, I'd like to see you go through a DV program. If you're going to stay with this lady, and it seems like there's some mutual aggression maybe going on there, and you said you called the police and everything. So we have a domestic violence program. So I can't say to someone outside of us what they need to do, but I can certainly say what you need to do. And I'd like to see you attend the domestic violence program with DOC.
Okay. And my vote is to concur. I'm gonna vote to do not revoke, and that y'all attend some marriage counseling. I think y'all need a little counseling. I think it's better if y'all go together.
Yes.
It's gonna be
Good, if it's just you or if it's just her. Okay, so, the vote has been finalized, so today we're not revoking your probation. And, you need to do what we told you need to do, okay?
If it helps any, Officer Isaiah is his parole officer, and he's all.
Well, I guess they didn't want to hear a damn thing from that lawyer. They just cut him right off. Oh, love it. Couple more minutes left of TCF Live. Let's go to oh heck fires. Let's go to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Let's check in with Judge Williams.
25 CR 0081. Is your year of birth 1987? Last four digits. 91.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stockton, what do y'all have here?
Well, I think this was a review from last month. He had a new felony arrest in Medford County where he had a bag of meth.
Yeah.
And we had him assessed for specialty court. My understanding is he's eligible.
Well, Judge, I mean, we'd like for him to be eligible or able to participate in drug court, specialty court, as in lieu of revocation.
Yeah, I guess we just need to find out from Mr. Murphy when the orientation date would be.
Are you ready to give it a real shot, Mr. Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll, go, have I signed the order yet? Yeah.
He's not order required, so.
Yeah, so we haven't heard, they hadn't voted. Well, they voted, did they vote this morning, did they, you know?
Well, we had to leave. I don't know if they voted or, yeah, he said there was 3 eligible and they voted, but he didn't mention the names, is what I recall. So I guess he was voted in. Nobody was rejected.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll wait to the orientation day and you'll get out that day for orientation.
We'll take Ms. Thompson with the date, so.
Okay, it'll be fine. You don't want to let him on the back row there so he won't have to walk over, let him go all the way to the end of the back row. Diane Cherry. Are you Mr. Cherry? Good morning. This is 26 CR 0013. Mr. Cherry, were you born in 1991?
Yes, sir.
Last four Social Security number.
9680.
Do what?
9680.
9680. You here for pretrial conference? What does the Commonwealth have to say?
Your Honor, we also have a motion for release of medical records on the children, I think at Monroe County Medical Center. Yeah, I'd ask that be signed. And once we get those records, we'll be ready for trial. I don't know if the court wants to go ahead and set a trial. It shouldn't take us long to get those records.
You have no objection to sign? No objection to the order. Judge, I would ask to set this over for negotiation. I'm still hopeful that we can find some point in the middle here. Got to sign the order. You want to say for negotiation date?
Well, August the 14th, August 14th at 9 a.m. And if we don't have a resolution next motion day, I'll ask for a trial date.
August the 14th and the next court date will be August the 27th. Okay. Okay. Heather Edens. Commonwealth versus Heather Edens, 26 CR 0038. Are you Heather Edens?
Yes.
You born in 1973? Last four digits. You're here for a pretrial conference on 26 CR 0038. What's the Commonwealth have to say?
I just kind of waiting on the defense counsel on this case, Your Honor, see if there's any requests or any testing.
Well, I'm sure, I think there's several things that are probably still outstanding, gunshot residues. I think there's some, missing, there might be another report, some of y'all were involved. I think there's some reports that we might not have yet. There, I'm sure are some medical records. It's quite early in a case of this magnitude. So I don't know.
What
whether we-
steps are you taking to get any of those? Have you filed motion for discovery or anything? Have you- With any particular?
Well, no, I think those things are things the Commonwealth are going to provide a discovery as they get them. I'm not.
What is
I'm
there
not believing-
outstanding, Mr. Sutton?
I agree with Mr. Sheffield. There's a gunshot residue. There may be a supplement for officer. I'd have to look and see about
I
that.
forget, I just read through it yesterday and it
If you
referenced that officer's report and I didn't see that officer.
If you could set this for negotiation, also, Mr. Sheffield and I can discuss any discovery issues and see where we're at.
August 14th for negotiation and discovery advancement, and then August 27th at the next pretrial, okay? James Flowers.
Let me go out and get his attorney, Your Honor. He actually knows that. Sure.
You're on the Zoom call.
Tell him come on in here and get off the Zoom call, okay? Sorry for inconveniencing him.
Well, I was going to try to finish the show with Judge Williams, but they're taking their dear sweet time. Let's go back to Judge Boyd.
Yes.
Or can you leave your backpack right there for a big thing?
All right, and is this an application?
Yes.
All right, probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2026 CR 001877 State versus David Bebbington. Can I have parties announced?
Charles Blunt for Mr. David Bebbington.
And are you Mr. Bebbington? No. Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Bebbington, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Do you remember state moves to waive count one and proceed solely on count two of the indictment?
No objections.
Mr. Bebbington, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams as a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes,
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Bebbington, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and reentry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is waiving count 1, proceeding on count 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's an $800 fine to be probated. The state is recommending community supervision, and there's to be $120 restitution to the Bexar County lab for drug testing. Did you understand that to be your plea? State defense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, regular UAs, and the DOEP course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yep.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. Suit off receipts exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We believe he's worthy of the plea bargain, and we ask you to follow it.
And I read in the stipulations that there is a theft or something that was part of the,
No pending theft, Judge.
all right, thank you. All right, Mr. Bebbington, how old are you?
64.
64. All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, how positive? All right, what have you been using?
Meth.
Okay, when did you start using? How old are you?
21.
I'm sorry?
21.
All right, so how often are you using?
This often, I think I'm weak.
Okay. Do you have any family support?
No,
All right. You're homeless? Okay. All right, we're going to try to get you some help. But here's the thing. You need to make sure you make all of these appointments. Otherwise, the appointments are going to happen in custody. I don't want to do that. Unless you want me to put you in custody. All right. Because sometimes people are like, yeah, could you put me in custody? Wait.
Maybe doing that. That way, when I be good to do it.
I'm sorry,
You
what?
want me to finish doing, you want me to put in custody. You know what I mean?
Sorry. Could everyone please whisper?
No. Just. Okay.
All right. Ms. Abrams, the court is going to sentence him to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. I want a referral to felony drug court. That's going to be done out of custody. You need to make sure you show up for that appointment, okay? There'll be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Proof of employment or SSI within 45 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. When's the last time you had employment?
About 6 years.
6 years ago?
Well, I'm disabled.
You're disabled? What's your disability?
Emphysema and scoliosis.
Okay. All right. Just make sure you provide that information to probation, okay? There is going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order sober support meetings 1 time per week. And for every sober support meeting that's completed, an hour of community service restitution will be deemed satisfied. There's $120 restitution to Bear County Crime Lab for testing. Ms. Abrams, we're not gonna be able to do field visits. He's homeless. And can you all help him if he needs a bus pass or something to get to whatever location? They'll help you with a bus pass. Okay, don't sell that bus pass. Okay. Probation, is there anything else? We'll do an $800 fine probated. What that means is you successfully complete everything, you don't have to pay it.
Okay.
The only thing you need to pay is that $120 restitution. Do not do this thing where you say, I can't pay anything, so therefore I'm not going to report. You need to still report.
Right.
Because when there's a motion to revoke or somebody's complaining that you're not doing something, it comes to me and I have to sign off on it, okay? And normally I have a compliance hearing before I sign those, unless, new cases are alleged to have been committed, okay?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need for me to be successful?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Probation, anything else?
Okay.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, I know it's hard out there being homeless, but just make sure you stay in touch with probation, okay? Thank you. Just have a seat, probation. We'll go over conditions.
Okie dokie, friends, that will do it for this morning, but do please join us tonight for Sidebar, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is our 1-year anniversary show, and we will redirect over to that show once I kill the stream. That way you guys can set a reminder. Hope you all had fun today. I did. I thought it was a pretty good set of cases today. Pretty good court. So thank you all for being with me, and really appreciate it. The wisdom I leave you with today is short. It's simple. It's one I keep on a screensaver here in the bunker along with some others. But from Frank Sinatra, the best revenge is massive success. Could not agree more, Frank. Okie dokie. We will see you all this evening, folks. In the meantime, go have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care. God bless.